Are Braidlocs and Sisterlocks the same thing? And Braidlocs and Sisterlocks, although they do look similar and have a lot of similarities to them, whether you're talking about the maintenance, whether you're talking about daily upkeep, they are not the same thing. As I mentioned, Braidlocs are established with braids, whereas Sisterlocks are established with the interlocking method. With Braidlocs, you don't necessarily have a specific grid that is done, whereas with Sisterlocks, there is a specific grid that is done depending on your head size, shape, and all that thing that the sisterloctician chooses for your particular head, as well as the rotation that they choose to start your locks with. There are a lot of similarities with Braidlocs and Sisterlocks, and one of the similarities being that looking at them from afar, they look similar, especially in the beginning before they even start maturing. Whereas, if you have two-strand twists, people are pretty much going to be able to look and tell that they're two-strand twists. Whereas with Braidlocs and Sisterlocks, because of the way that they're started, they tend to mimic each other and look very similar at times. So the interlocking pattern tends to mimic a braid pattern, and they look similar. In the very beginning stages, or the first 6 months or year of Braidlocs, or maybe throughout the entire journey, it can be difficult for people to differentiate whether they're Braidlocs or they're Sisterlocks, simply for that reason. Another question that is hit on a lot when it comes to Braidlocs is how do you start them, and if there's a specific grid, and what the parting has to be. And I kind of alluded to this in the beginning, but the way that you start them is by plaiting your hair. The difference with Sisterlocks and Braidlocs is that with Sisterlocks, there's a whole method to the madness. There's a whole system to it and rules that are followed. Whereas with Braidlocs, it's a lot more free and can be done in any way that you really want or see fit for you. So as Sisterlocks may be very restricted in the sense that it has to be done with a certain grid, and there are interlocking tools that have to be used, the Sisterlock interlocking tools, and other rules that must be followed. With Braidlocs, you're not confined in that same type of constraints, parameters, or box. Braidlocs can be started using any type of parting system. Do like I did and just go in and scoop to dupe, and do C-parting, where you just literally scoop and C-part your locks. You can do that if you want to do brick pattern for your parting. If you want to do diamond shape pattern, you can literally do box pattern. You can do whatever you want. If you want to have a specific grid, you can, or like me, you can have no grid at all. That's all up to you and what you decide, whether you're doing it DIY or whether you're doing it through a loctician or Sisterloctician. And that's another difference, is that Sisterlocks can only be installed by a Sisterloctician, whereas Braidlocs can be installed by any loctician or even by yourself or someone that you know. So if you're a DIYer, you can do your Braidlocs yourself. If you're a DIYer and you want Sisterlocks, I don't know if it's technically considered Sisterlocks unless you are an official certified Sisterloctician.
If you found this video helpful, then go ahead and join the flock by hitting that subscribe button. I post videos like this regularly throughout the week, and go ahead and hit that like button so that I know what type of content you're enjoying. See you in the next video.